Good morning, you guys. Happy Vlogmas Day 3. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video, and excuse the mess. I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up a lot. I haven't done anything since Thanksgiving. I got sick. My husband wasn't feeling well. My daughter had the flu, so everything kind of is behind. We're gonna go to Walmart today and get a few groceries just to get us through the weekend. And that's that. I did my hair up today because those curls were just, the ends fell out completely. And I can't straighten my hair first because I always feel like the ends fall out if I straighten my hair first. My hair, it was naturally straighter than a pin. I couldn't hold a curl. And I think with like hormonal changes and age changes, my texture changed to a little more textured or wavy. And my hair holds curls great. It just doesn't like to be straightened first. So I just threw it up in buns. Looks like one gigantic bun because it was so curly. And then I just fixed the framing pieces, and I'm still in my like little house on the prairie jammy nighty. So I'm going to get some clothes on, and then we're going to run to Walmart. But then when we're in the car driving to Walmart, I want to talk about some of the comments that I got that were really helpful and really encouraging, because they meant way more than you can even imagine about schooling. So we'll talk about that. So I'm gonna go get some clothes on. It's still really early. It's only like 9:30. I'm listening to Crime Weekly podcast. They did like an 8-part series on Adnan Syed and Heyman Lee, and I had listened to the serial podcast whenever it came out. What was it, like 8 years ago? I can't remember. And I'm listening to the lady, I can't remember what her name is. She's a really gorgeous Muslim woman who covered the case, and I'm listening to her new podcast. But yeah, if you have any podcast suggestions, definitely leave them down below, and I will definitely talk more if you want to hear it. I do like quite a bit of podcasts, and I think I'm going to share a couple book recommendations with you guys today. So I will be back once I have some clothes on. Okay, you guys, so like I told you before, I always eat an early breakfast. I think it's 10:10, well, either breakfast or lunch. So I just had a couple leftover bagels. We're kind of low on food, so that's why I'm gonna go run and just get a couple things until I do a big grocery shop. But so my daughter just turned 16 November 1st. So she'll be taking, I just have to talk to somebody about this, because my husband is very like, oh, she's a smart girl. She's, let her have fun. I get it, but like the mom of me freaks out a little bit. So she has a girlfriend that just got her license, and they want to drive to Target today. It's only a few minutes from the house, but it's like, how is my daughter old enough to have friends that drive, and how is she old enough to be driving? I feel like I'm not even old enough to be driving. It's a very scary thing, and I know I have to let her be independent and do things, but I also know what can happen to young kids and what happened to me growing up. And I try to have a healthy balance between being a helicopter mom and letting her have some independence, but I also want to protect her from anything that ever happened to me or happened to my sisters. You know what I mean? So it's a very difficult balance. I worry, and if she goes to like a high school party, I text her probably every hour just to make sure, be like, oh, are you okay? And she never gets like annoyed, but I know some of the parents are a little less lenient and a little more lenient. And we just do what works for our family. I had her very young, way too young. I was 18 and I didn't know anything. I was very naive. While I went through a lot in my life, I was very naive at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, up until I was 14, I didn't know. I was like still playing with Barbie dolls at 14, and I was in Catholic school my whole life, so I was very sheltered. I never knew about certain things. They teach you like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was in the same class with the same 20 kids for 8 years, so I didn't know different people. I'm still in touch with people that I was in kindergarten with. Like, that's how weird and how close the relationships were. So until I was 14 and got into a situation that was really terrible, I was very naive. And I try to protect her from that. And I try to bring awareness to, like, abusive relationships with teenagers and how teenagers can go through these things as well. We all know that children get sexually assaulted and all that, but we also forget, like, they can be in abusive situations. And my daughter's first little boyfriend, not that I think in any way the kid was bad, abusive, or anything, but I did notice tendencies of a little bit of control where she kind of slipped away from friends. And I was like, Brooke, this isn't healthy. And they decided that it wasn't a good relationship for them. And she moved on pretty quick, which I was very proud of. She was upset, she cried, and moved on, which is exactly what she should do at this age. And it made me feel good. Not saying that her next boyfriend might not affect her more, but all that to say is, like, I can't believe she's going to be driving in a year. She'll be going to college. It's just a lot. Like, my sister, now she's gone twice to go in the military. Both times she's had a severe injury. The first one was a stress fracture, and this one was a stress fracture as well on the opposite leg, but way worse. So today, she does have a bachelor's in psychology. Today, she's going to go interview for a job as a caseworker for people with for adults with mental health issues that need placement. So they need food stamps or housing or jobs, and she's going to get to do that for them. So I was really excited, and I'm like, you know, wear something very professional, pull your hair out of your face, and don't talk like a baby. If they ask for like, sometimes you don't want to bring too much personal information into it, but if they happen to be like, yes, I can relate, I'm very sympathetic and compassionate and empathetic towards people with mental health issues, because one, we have a family member with autism. We also have many family members with mental health issues, especially their father. So it is relatable. Our mother, a lot of drug abuse in the family, so I feel like she would do really well for the job. So hopefully she'll get it. It would just be nice. So I have some good thoughts and prayers out for her to get that job, because it would really, really be, one, good for her confidence, and it would be security, and she would gain she has all the brains, but she's lacking experience. So it would be a good job to get some experience, and then she can go on to work in prisons or whatever she decides to do. But I want to say thank you to the people, the two ladies that said something about how they went back to school. The one's about the same age as me, and one's just a little bit older than me, and I just think that's so incredible. I don't want to give too much information, because obviously you could read the comments if you wanted to, or they wouldn't have shared if they didn't mind. But school has to be scary for any age, whether you're going freshly into college right after high school, or if you go back at 80. I feel like any age it's scary. You're brave as hell for doing it. And I feel like it's just a little bit of motivation I needed to maybe get my butt in gear and do it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what, but something after Christmas. So I just wanted to say thank you to them. They just gave me the little bit of a push that I needed. So I'm going to finish up here, head over to Walmart, and cry, because I feel like I'm getting old, because my daughter's getting older. And honestly, I'm just excited to see where their life takes them. My one cousin, she's a distance cousin, kind of like a third cousin. She just graduated, and she's moving on to whatever the next step is to become a veterinarian, which is amazing. If my sister gets this job, that's going to be a great step for our family. And my other sister works full-time as a coordinator at a TJ Maxx, which isn't her long-term goal, but for now it's good. And then my daughter next year will start really buckling down and looking at some colleges. So yeah, it's an exciting time, overwhelming, and I feel like I'm not even grown enough to deal with this stuff as well. And I think I think there's a lot of perks to having children young, and there's a lot of disadvantages. And I feel like I admire people that wait till they're a little older to have kids, because I feel like you're a little more stable emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually, whatever you believe in. I just feel like it was hard to have a kid young, and now I'm definitely just struggling with it, and I worry about how we're going to afford college and how I'm going to afford a car for her. And I know, like, I think about it like I have one child. I don't know how a family of 2 incomes do it with multiple children, 4 or 5 kids. And I certainly don't know how single parents do it with multiple or even one child. My mother was a single mother with 3 of us, and I don't know how she did it. I really don't. I mean, I know times were much different years ago, but Lord. Okay, I will see you when we are done at Walmart. I remembered my car mount. I'm so excited. So, like I said, I'm running to the grocery store. I think I'm just gonna go over to Walmart because they're just a little bit cheaper, and I need to find eggs. Oh my God, eggs are so expensive that in the spring, I swear I'm getting a couple chickens. I feel like raising a few chickens would actually be cheaper. So the last time you were with me, I was in my husband's Kia. This is my car. Okay, they're in the window. I was just making sure my dogs were okay. I hate leaving them. Yeah, this is my car. This is a GMC Terrain, I think. I don't know. We did lease it, but I think I'm gonna keep it because the more I think about a lease, it kind of is like a waste in a way, unless you have the money to keep putting out for cars. Every couple of years, you got to come up with the down payment, change your payment plan. While the perk of it is you get a new car each time, but I feel like you're working for nothing. You're never going to pay off a car. You're never not going to have a car payment. And I've had the luxury car. I had a Lincoln last time. I had a GMC Terrain. The Lincoln we bought outright. Well, it would have been nice if you at least stopped, sir. The Lincoln we had bought, and it just was so much maintenance for an oil change. Change was $180, and it was just too much maintenance. And while I understand wanting a luxury vehicle, they're just like, you need a safe vehicle. And if you can afford a luxury, that's fabulous, but I'm more for safety and affordability. The only thing about this car that I don't like, it has a smaller gas tank, so I go through gas a lot, but I guess that's just a sign of the times right now with the gas. That's the only thing that drives me nuts, is I don't get a lot of mileage. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad by any means. It's nothing as bad as my Lincoln was. My Lincoln was horrible. But yeah, I've had all kinds of different cars, and I just feel like I'd like to pay something off. And the way it's hard to get vehicles right now, I'm just gonna keep it. I think I'm gonna buy out my lease. It makes sense for my lifestyle. Unless something really, really good comes, that would be my last purchase of a vehicle. But in the last like 7 years, I've had 3 cars, and I'm just over it at this point. Sorry, my husband called me just to keep me updated about work, but yeah, I just was gonna say, I think this is what I was gonna say, that I'm 34 now, and it's like funny. So I've always felt like when we had no money when we were young adults, young kids, I think anything under 25 as a kid, like you're still young, I always coveted and wanted expensive things, Louis Vuitton, and like, of course I bought a few, and now it's like I could have made a mortgage payment. Do you know what I mean? So like, I like to live within my means now, and I don't think you need that kind of stuff to make you feel good. I have a beautiful home, a wonderful, healthy family, and that's all that should matter. And I've learned that getting older. Yes, of course I would buy it if I had the money, but I will never go broke trying to look rich, is what I should say. And no one should. You never should worry about what anybody thinks. And this is why, because there's one person in my life, I know this is off topic, but we're driving, we're chatting. There's one person in my life that always comments about people's money and assumes people are wealthy. And 2 people in particular, he always makes comments about how wealthy they are. And come to find out, he makes assumptions and they're not the truth. And it drives me nuts. You cannot judge a book by its cover. Just because someone has a big house does not mean they have money. They could be house broke, essentially, and they could only maybe afford their mortgage. That's why my one friend downsized, because he said they had this big luxury home, they had no furniture, they couldn't do anything. So for their family and the best interest of their family, they downsized, and their home is gorgeous. She makes their home look beautiful, and it is a decent sized house. It's about the same size as my home, and I think that that's an average. Like, what is wrong with living in just your means? And he always makes these comments, and like, my husband went to go over to this particular person's house thinking they lived in a damn mansion, and their house is just normal. Now, that's not saying they don't have money, but stop making assumptions about people. It's wrong. I try not to pass judgment, and money, I've learned, is the root of all evil. And while a lot of people who say, oh, well, if you have money, this is why you say it, it doesn't bring you joy or happiness, and you can lose everything, and it's just such a terrible thing. So I have learned to be less materialistic. I have no problem shopping at Walmart. I'm just kind of over it. I'm so over it. And like, another example of this, I've been very friendly, or it's one of my husband's very good friends. He's young and almost like a mentor in a way. And they were very poor, which meant nothing, but it's like they got a tiny, tiny bit of money, a tiny taste of money, and they have changed so much and become so materialistic. And I know they're young, they're under 30, I get it, but it's like, you do realize, like, in this economy or in the long run, this stuff is not gonna matter, and it's such a waste of time. That's why I love secondhand shops. I don't ever want anyone to feel bad about themselves. I just try to be very empathetic towards people. I don't know. I'm trying to also give you more of an insight into who I am as a person, because showing you fashion and clothes, those videos don't really show who I am. And I feel like these vlogs for like Christmas time, I feel like I can be a little more who I truly am. That way you guys can get to know me a little bit better. So yeah, I just have learned a lot over the years. I've been very poor where we had nothing. I've had quite a bit of money in the bank at one point in my life, and now with the way things have changed, we've dipped into our savings and we don't have as much, but we're okay, and that's all that matters. I can pay my bills, I can make sure my daughter is okay, and we have food in our bellies, and that's really all that matters. But I've lived every type. Like, I've lived where we had a little extra money at the end of the month, and I've lived where we've had not even a pot to you know what in. Beyond poor, beyond the poverty line, where I would be lucky with the $20 bill at the end of the month. And yes, if it wasn't for like being on food stamps younger, and I did get WIC, I wouldn't have survived. And I don't understand the stigma around it. No, I don't think it's something you should be on a lifetime, but I do think it's very helpful for people who need a pick-me-up or who need just a little bit of help, and no one should be ashamed, especially with WIC. It's women in crisis. Everyone deserves to have help. I never understood that. Like, I saw a video on TikTok, this poor girl was made to feel so terrible at the store when she was picking up her WIC because she couldn't afford, or she didn't have another card at the time to get something for her child, and they made her feel bad. But WIC is not, it's so important to have. It's nutrition for the pregnant woman, and then when they have their children, it's like they give you milk and vegetables, and it's not like you can go buy whatever the hell you want. You have to get whatever is in the well, at least that's what it was when I was on WIC. I haven't been on WIC in 15 years. My daughter's 16. Well, no, I guess she got it till she was about 4. Does that sound right? I don't remember how long you can get WIC. It was so long ago they used to give you the check, like the paper checks. I don't know what it is now. But yeah, like you could go get cheese and fresh vegetables, and I think, like, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Milk, all eggs, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I just try never this is what I told you. I don't try to pass judgment, but this is why I try to say, like, scatterbrained. I can't stay on one topic, and whatever I feel passionate about, I can be very annoying as well. So we are almost to Walmart. I'm gonna grab just a few groceries, and then I'm gonna make a big list and go actual food shopping Monday. I don't feel like it today. I don't even want to go to the store. I used to love grocery shopping, but now it is a big source of anxiety for me. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. But Walmart's not as far as I thought, so I guess it's about 15 minutes from the house. This is at 7, and then before that was about 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. About 12 to 15 minutes. It's just difficult because where I used to live, everything was literally around the corner, 5 minutes away. So if today's vlog seems like I'm trying to figure out how to do these clips, because I'm trying to keep them between 20 to 30 minutes. I don't want the vlogs to be, or even shorter. So what I'm going to do is maybe save some and just see how it works out. So if you happen to see me in like the same outfit, that might be why. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to film as much as possible, and then I'll either do continuations or something. I'll figure it out. Okay, we are finally here, so I will see you when we get home. Okay, you guys, so I got back, and I haven't even put my groceries away because I wanted to show you these two things I found. So I'm sure people have seen this, but this is really cool. So it's theater style popcorn seasoning spray. So I'm hoping it actually tastes like the theater. It's a super easy, delish, and fun. So I'm hoping this is as good as it looks. So let me know. I was looking for that one that everyone recommends. It actually tastes like popcorn theater, movie theater popcorn. But you guys, so I did a poll just like jokingly. I love dips. I love savory dips, sweet dips. I just love them. I love corn dip. I showed one, like the Mexican corn dip. Stop it, boys. Spinach, artichoke, onion, caramelized onion, pickles, like the dill pickle. But I found this at Walmart. Why didn't somebody tell me? Peppermint candy cane dip. Now, it was a little pricey. I think it was almost $6. It says great with graham crackers or vanilla wafers. It's cream cheese, whipped cream, and real candy cane dip. Look how beautiful. First of all, it would look absolutely beautiful on like a fruit tray. I think this would go good with fruits too, like strawberries, things like that. So I'm gonna put all of my food away. I spent like $100, and I swear to God, I bought nothing. I literally feel like I bought nothing. It's a little disappointing, and I went to Walmart. So let me put myself away, and then we'll try that together. So that's fun. That's Christmassy. We have a Christmas snack. So I will be right back. I bought cinnamon graham crackers. I don't love honey graham crackers, so I did get cinnamon. So we'll see. Okay, so these are the crackers that I got. Graham crackers are really expensive, so I just went with the ones from Walmart. Honey, I also got this in the mail from iMethod Beauty. I didn't know they were going to send it. I did a review for their eye stamp, and I really liked it. And can I help you? And they sent me this. So it's I can't see what the name of it is. Brow styling wax. So I can't wait to show you guys that. Maybe I'll use that tomorrow or on a day where I'm not doing too much with my makeup. Come here. Say hello. Wanna move? Moody mood. Okay, so let's dig in. Like I said, it says cream cheese, whipped cream, and real candy cane. I'm sure I could have made this. I just have never even thought about it. What? Here, come up here too. Come on. Climb up. If someone's gonna judge me because my dogs are by the table, I know. I wipe my table every day because mom life, animal life. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Come up, honey. Ooh, it smells very cream cheesy. So I love cream cheese. I will walk 1,000 miles for a good cream cheese, and especially a good cream cheese dip. Yes, I'll give you a little piece of graham cracker. Give me a minute. This dog is obsessed with peppermint. He will try to eat peppermint Tums, peppermint candies. I don't know why he loves peppermint so much. He's a weirdo. I do not give him gum. No way. Okay, let's try it. Get down before somebody judges me for letting you on the table. Thank you. All right, let's first bite. I'll give you a taste. So, what I like about it, look how pretty it is. It's very, very pretty. What I like about it is it's very, I'm taking another broken piece. I'll probably be the only person that eats it. Maybe if my sister comes up and tastes it. It's subtle. And what I mean is it's not overwhelming. I'll give you a bite. Hold on. It's subtle in the fact that it's very nice. Like, I'm glad I bought it because I almost put it back, but I thought it'd be great for this video. It's like the perfect amount of cream cheese and peppermint, and you don't think to like put the two together. Here, honey. Come here, Gail. It's like the perfect amount, and you would never think to put the two together. You just dropped it, get Butters. You would never think to, here, honey. You would never think to put the two together. So I'm going to taste off the lid, just the dip itself, so nobody gets grossed out if I stuck my finger in it. Yeah, it's like, I can taste the cream cheese. I don't taste the whipped cream, but I definitely taste the peppermint, but it's not like overwhelming. It's very whipped. I think it would be a big hit at a party. I think people would love this. I wouldn't necessarily buy it again because it's a lot. For me, I'll never eat it all. Well, I probably will. I'm not going to pretend. It would be very, very good on the vanilla wafers. Like they said, honey, you have to eat it. You can't guard it. Oh, my chihuahua. I think it would even be better on vanilla wafers, but it is good with the cinnamon. For some reason, the peppermint and the cinnamon work really well together. I'm going to rate this like an 8 out of 10. That's how good it is, especially for the price, and especially because I thought it would be a very overwhelming Christmassy taste, but it's good. Now, definitely give it a try. It's the Market Side Peppermint Candy Cane Dip from Walmart. Walmart's dips are pretty good, but I feel like Aldi's dips, Aldi has like a crab rangoon. They have a Mexican dip. It's actually called Mexican. I don't know what exactly it is. A corn dip. They have a lot of salsas. They have like a dill pickle salsa. Hold on one second. Here, honey. Come on, Gail. Yeah, I love this. I think it would be a hit at a party. Okay, you guys, so we're having meatballs for dinner tonight. I don't know if I'll put this in day 3's vlog or day 4 because we're gonna have these. I did 2 pounds of ground beef so that we can have it for 2 days, if not 3. This is 2 pounds. I will share this recipe. I used to share recipes all the time. If you go back, there's so many recipes from even like a year ago, but I stopped because it's just like people get very weird with food. I did wash my hands. My family's eating it, so I don't wear gloves. It just depends. My grandmother always uses gloves because she's older and that's what she prefers. But I am going to share it and we'll see how it goes. If it goes well, I'll share some recipes throughout the week. So what I do is I cut up a half of a white onion. You could use any onion you like. I prefer to cook with white onion or sweet onions. I don't love yellow onions, but I'll use them. And I never like to cook with a red onion. I don't know how people do. It's just a preference. I prefer red onion raw or purple onion raw. I prefer to cook with sweet or white onion, especially a jumbo white onion. Aldi's has great deals on jumbo white and sweet onions. And I just kind of steer clear of yellow onions. They're not my favorite. They're very, very strong. So I do half of a large onion. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can mince it even finer than this. Totally up to you. My hard-boiled eggs are done, so I'm gonna take care of them and then I will get back to this video. So this is so far what we have. Okay, so what I have here is 1 whole egg and about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little more of milk. You can omit the milk. You can do whatever you would like. That's just what my mother did. Now I always stir up the egg. That way it's easier to incorporate because I do it with my hands. It just makes life so much easier. You certainly could use fresh garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one from Aldi. I love it. They come in olive oil, but I always just get the normal one that comes in maybe like water. And this is definitely up to your discretion. I use about like that. So I'm gonna say about a full tablespoon, if not a little bit more. And now again, I do have breadcrumbs, so I do use the Italian style breadcrumbs from ShopRite. You can use whatever. This one is without cheese because my husband does not like cheese. As you will see, I'm not adding cheese. Most people would eat Parmesan cheese in theirs. You go ahead and add yours. I don't because of my husband. He does not like them. Now, here we have what I'm going to use. So, garlic salt with parsley. I do have parsley actually. Hold on. Whatever. I'm not digging my parsley out. This has enough. So I'm going to add a very little bit of this because I do add salt. So this does have salt in it. So I'm just going to use a little bit. I do measure this because I don't want to go overboard with the salt. Because there is 2 pounds in here, I do use, typically I would use an entire tablespoon of salt. But because I am using garlic salt, I'm going to do a half a tablespoon. I do measure to be careful, so about like that. Then I go in with my onion powder. I don't usually measure the onion powder. It does have onion in it, but I do like to add a little extra flavor. You can do whatever you like. I do add, well, I would add garlic powder, but I'm going to do a little bit of this garlic salt, maybe half of a tablespoon, because I'm afraid of all that salt. And then I do a ton of black pepper. I'm going to dig out my, and a lot of black pepper, about like that. This is 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm going to pull out my parsley, so give me 1 second. This is the dried parsley. I know it doesn't have flavor, but I do like the color. So you just add whatever you like. You could do Worcestershire sauce, but I usually reserve the Worcestershire sauce more for my meatloaf. I'm going to take my rings off. I'm going to add just a smidge more of garlic powder because my husband does like the flavor of the garlic. That might be a little too much and I might regret it. There's no way to test. So I'm going to just add breadcrumbs. I just eyeball it, but if you wanted an exact measurement, I would go with about a cup and then just see what it looks like once it's all incorporated. And then I just roll them into whatever size I'm feeling. Sometimes I do dinner sized and sometimes I do like cocktail meatballs. It just depends. And then what I do is I put them in the oven for 30 minutes at 350, no longer because you don't want to dry them out. And then I cook them on the stove top for as long as possible in sauce. I don't overwork my meat because I don't want it to be tough. So I just stir it and incorporate it as much as possible. I fold so everything gets flavor. You can add more seasoning, less. You could add paprika. You could add whatever you like. This is just my family's recipe that I came up with. And as you can see, this is the consistency you want. I think meatballs are see how they just stay together? Meatballs are so easy to make homemade. It's almost like, why would you ever buy frozen? They're so easy. You could also store this in the freezer and pull it out as you need it. I'll be right back. So here's what it looks like. It's all incorporated and I'm just gonna get to rolling. I'll show you what they look like. Like I said, 350 for 30 minutes. And then you cook them on the stove top for as long as possible because the longer they cook, the better they taste, in my opinion. This is, like I said, just my recipe. If it goes over well and you enjoy it, I will continue to show some of our dinners. Yeah, I just think meatballs are super duper easy. I don't know how Italian this particular one is, but it works for my family, and I think it will work for somebody who is on a budget and who needs quick and easy meals. And then we're just going to serve it obviously with some spaghetti. So I will be back once everything is rolled, and I'll tell you exactly how many meatballs I get. Okay, I got 35 meatballs. I did a mix between, like, it's not quite a dinner meatball, but it's not quite a cocktail meatball. So like just in between. I got 35. We'll probably eat this for 2 or 3 days. So they're really, really nice size meatballs. They smell great. Like I said, I'm going to pop them in the oven, and then I'll be back when I put them in the sauce. I saw this that I've never seen before, and this might drive somebody nuts. It's half-length spaghetti, and it's still a whole entire pound. So I think that's what we're going to try tonight. They didn't have any angel hair, which is what my husband prefers. I don't particularly love angel hair, but I'll eat it anyway. But yeah, I'm going to get these in the oven, and that's about that. And then we will eat dinner. It's only 1:30, so they'll be cooked by like 2 something, and then they'll cook till 3 or 4, 5, whenever we decide to eat dinner. Okay, so here's all the meatballs. I'm going to put about a full jar for sure. And then I'll come back and see if it needs maybe a half jar more. I'm going to do tomato, onion, garlic. And let me see what the other flavor is. Oh, both are tomato, garlic, and onion. Sometimes I do basil. Sometimes I do marinara. Sometimes I do original. It just depends. And like I said, these are cooked perfectly. You certainly could eat these. You could do these in the air fryer. Or you could just pan fry them. I don't know how else you would cook them. I don't know if you could just cook them raw in the sauce. I just don't know if it would be too oily that way. But yeah, I'm just going to cook them. It is 2:13 now, and I'll just cook them till everyone gets home. I'll bring them up to a simmer and then put it on low, and it will just cook, and they'll get even more delicious.
Give me them puppy tails. Give me them big tails. Puppy tail, 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 puppy tail.
So you guys, I like to have a little snack at night. I know I shouldn't. I'm just like a major snacker. It's just my thing. So I have Home Alone on the TV, and I just usually sit here and have a little snack at night and read. Not always, but I love when Aldi's puts out their seasonal snacks, whether it's fall, summer, spring, winter, whatever. They always put out the most amazing seasonal snacks. So the last one that I loved as much as this was something called it was like a brookie. It was like one of the most moist prepackaged brownies, but it was a brookie. So it was the sorry, I'm scratching. So it was the vanilla brownie. It was so good, and I only was able to get 2 boxes of it, and I never found it again because it was fall. It was seasonal for the fall. So the brand's Clancy. That's the Aldi brand. These are like I think $1.99. Kettle corn can be expensive, but it's peppermint flavored kettle corn. It is the perfect amount of, like, it's not like an overwhelming peppermint, like a peppermint patty. It's just like a light peppermint, and it has like white chocolate over the kettle part. So if you've ever had like puppy chow this time of year, puppy chow is one of my favorite things to make, and my grandmother at first didn't want to try it, and then she was addicted to it last year. I made her so much puppy chow. I don't think it's like that, but it's such a faint peppermint. If you see this, pick it up and give it a try. Don't let it put you off that it's peppermint flavored popcorn, because it's so good. At first I didn't know if I liked it, but the more I ate it, the more I realized I ate half a bag. It's just a 5-ounce bag, and I think it was only $1.99. Usually all these treats are it is a lot of calories, but it is kettle corn. So for an ounce is 140 calories and a lot of carbohydrates, but kettle corn is up there in calories. I always make my own kettle corn, but I've tried the pub style pretzels that are like garlic. They're really good. Most of Clancy brand or Aldi brand snacks are pretty good. And this is just what it looks like. I'm the only one that eats it. I tried to get my husband to taste it, and he had a heart attack and said he hated it. Just looks like regular popcorn, but there are some bits that have a little bit of pink on them. I swear to God, the other day we went to ShopRite to get some last minute items for, see, a little pink or a little red. It must be like candy cane and the white chocolate. We went to Boba. I went and got a boba tea. I just got a regular milk tea. I got a milk tea with tapioca, the tapioca balls. I said, here, taste it, because he likes black tea, so I just figured he would like it, because it kind of tastes like black tea with milk. Oh my God, you would have thought I gave him cyanide poison. He was ridiculous. Oh, look at you. You were letting your brother lick you again. You are a chronic groomer, and you're a chronic licker, huh? Can't have this popcorn, guys. It's too sweet for you, too. Okay, I just wanted to share it. So if you're in the market for something sweet, maybe you have a Christmas party coming up, or you just want something to munch on while you're watching Christmas movies, I think you would like this, especially if you like peppermint flavored anything. And one thing about me is that I am a sucker for salty and sweet. It doesn't matter what it is, whether. Also, I've been drinking. I'll show you later tonight when I make it. When I decide to have like a cocktail or a drink at night, I am loving the cranberry ginger ale with a shot and a half of Tito's. It is so good. You could use white rum if you wanted to, but the cranberry ginger ale and the Tito's together is so good. So I'll show you that later.
You go to New York?
No, do you remember what I asked you, what I told you we should try and eat? That was salt and savory. I can't remember now.
Hold on, and I might be able to remember.
I don't even know if I actually said it to you, to be honest.
You did.
I was like, oh, we gotta try it. I just can't freaking remember. What?
It was the cinnamon bun and the fucking...
Oh, cinnamon bun and chili. God, I'm an idiot.
What?
That's right, I forgot. I'm only gonna do one shot, that way if I want another drink, I can have one.